Okay, we're going to get started here. We're going to, like I say, go through On-Ramp to the Cloud webinar. We want to welcome everybody and appreciate everyone taking time out of your day to get started. We'll get you out of here on time, about between 30 and 35 minutes. We'll be done with the webinar, and at the end, we'll actually give you a free offer if this is something that potentially applies to you once you've gone through the webinar. So on October 30th, one of the world's wealthiest billionaires wrote an urgent memo to his top engineers and most trusted management team. It sounded the alarm that a very disruptive wave was about to wash over the IT industry, forever changing the way we get information and use technology, and threatening to destroy the $200 billion empire he spent his life building. Meanwhile, along the banks of the Columbia River, a mysterious company known only as Design LLC was secretly constructing two massive 34,000 square foot windowless warehouses on top of a fiber optic network named Project 2. In fact, the International Herald Tribune wrote that it was, quote, looming like an information age nuclear plant, end quote. In case you haven't guessed it, the two companies we're talking about here are Microsoft and Google. And the disruptive wave we're talking about is, of course, cloud computing. So first, relax. We're not here to sell you cloud computing today. That's not our intent. Cloud computing is an emerging technology, and many of our customers have been coming to us to learn more about cloud computing and what are the offerings out there and so forth. There's a lot of confusion. The topic is very broad, and frankly, people need help. So that being said, do we sell cloud computing? Yes. But more importantly, we sell solutions that meet the needs of our clients. We've been in business since 2002 and have many solutions that aren't cloud-based. We believe that cloud computing is a major portion of the future in IT. And it can save you money in terms of lowering your computing costs and allowing you to work from anywhere and more efficiently and so forth. But it may not be for every customer, and it may not be the solution right now. Today, we're going to focus on educating you what is out there from a cloud perspective. So we're going to talk about what is cloud computing and why you'll want to at least consider the model. Some of the frequently asked questions from the people that we've talked to, like where is your data being stored and how is it protected? Is it secure? We're going to talk about the actual costs associated with cloud computing. We're going to go through an actual case study of one of our customers to show you what an in-house solution looked like versus cloud computing, so you can see all that. We're going to talk about what happens if the internet goes down. You need the internet in order to connect to cloud, so what happens if it has problems? Some of the top reasons people are switching to cloud, and whether or not cloud computing is right for your company. Before I get into that too far, we'll just highlight here enterprise hosting. We started in 2002. We're a boutique hosting firm. We have a relentless focus on customer satisfaction. We host mission-critical applications for our customers. It's their critical data and critical applications. We have all Tier 3 engineers, so we don't have Tier 1 guys where, not to pick on, I won't name a name, but let's say, you know, a cell phone provider or something, when you call into their help desk, you get a Tier 1 person, and as they troubleshoot through, if they can't resolve your problem, a couple hours later it gets escalated to a Tier 2 person and then a Tier 3 and so forth. Our customers just, one, they don't come to us for that level of service, but two, it's mission critical. If they're having a problem, they want to be up and running right away, whether it's a problem that we can help them with and it's part of their scope, or it's on us. Regardless, they want to talk to a Tier 3 engineer immediately. We've got about 150 customers. Some of the customers, the big names are Plantronics and American Airlines and Turner Sports, but we have lots of one-person shops. So it really, the common denominator really is the mission-critical element of either their data or applications that they just need to have access to, and they don't want to manage that infrastructure themselves. So cloud computing. In order to give you an analogy, we'll go back into history. Companies, largely being factories, were required to produce their own power in order to operate the tools and machines that they use to produce their widgets. So in 1851, in a field in upstate New York, a man by the name of Henry Burden built the largest and most powerful industrial water wheel in the world. At top speed, it was 600 feet tall, it was 250 tons, and at top speed it would produce over 500 horsepower that generated the electricity to power his factory. He distributed it through, a series of gears and belts and pulleys and so forth to produce his widgets. This invention gave him such a competitive advantage, it literally put his competitors out of business. The smaller competitors disappeared, and the larger ones were forced to design and build and generate and maintain their own power plants. Generating power became a necessity to be in business. For nearly 50 years, this water wheel ran continuously. In 1901, the wheel stopped. It literally sat rusting in the field, in the same field that it was built in. And the reason why is because new advancements in utilities allowed for companies to hook up into that central source of power. So a significant switch occurred back then. Instead of having a competitive advantage by owning and generating the power for themselves, the invention became more of a cost-prohibitive disadvantage. Even the most die-hard fans of power generation who wanted to control their own power soon couldn't compete with the businesses tied to the utility hub. And as utilities became more and more advanced and realized more and more economies of scale, consequently, more and more businesses were able to hook onto the utility grid. And even, as you know, all households could connect. You probably have servers in your office. And just like the manufacturers in the 1800s, there was a time when those servers and IT investments gave you a significant competitive advantage, a leg up on your competition, if you will. Over time, more and more companies implemented technology and the advantage dissolved. So just like companies in Burton's time, the investments in servers and infrastructure became more of a necessary evil in order to do business. You still do acquire and design and implement and maintain the IT equipment, but it became more of a burden rather than a differentiator. So now, today, fast forward, the same technological revolution is occurring today. Just like the utility change in the early 1900s, it's occurring in cloud computing. So ask yourself, do you really need all the servers and infrastructure in your office when most applications are accessed via the browser? Internet connectivity is exploding and is largely driven by mobile Wi-Fi demand. Devices are multiplying and getting cheaper. I know just myself, I have a home PC, a PDA, a laptop, a smartphone, an iPad, all to access my business applications and critical data. The majority of software is available in a SaaS model. And if you think about it, you're probably using cloud computing today. Just something as simple as Google, is it anything more than just a big free utility? When you need to find something online, you use your web browser to go to Google and tap into all of their data centers and all of their server infrastructure in order to find whatever you're looking for in literally seconds. There's just no way you could host that type of computing power yourself on your laptop or servers or what have you. Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, your email systems. A lot of people use Hotmail, Gmail, and so forth. These are all in the cloud. Online banking, credit card machines that you use. All of these things are accessed via the cloud. So what are the benefits of looking to the cloud computing? First and foremost, you're going to have increased uptime and increased security. You're now, when you move to the cloud, you're in an environment that is 24/7, that's managed with enterprise-class infrastructure. It's all fault-tolerant. You have the best-of-breed security folks and security products watching over your systems versus, let's face it, in-house, there are times where you don't necessarily have all of the latest and greatest IT infrastructure, or maybe you don't have the manpower to manage it and watch over it as diligently as you need to in the IT world. It lowers your hardware costs, and we'll go through actual case studies. It lowers your support costs. You're free to access applications and data from any device. So now you can access your applications from your iPad, or you can access remotely from wherever. Your desktop can be accessed anywhere. Built-in disaster recovery. I ask customers all the time, if you truly suffered a disaster, that could be a natural disaster. It could be a data corruption disaster. Could you recover? If you lost your data, would your company recover 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, a week, a month? Statistics show 65% go out of business when they can't recover their data. These are critical contracts, customer information, your data in your proprietary apps, all of this stuff. So let's talk a little bit about how cloud computing works. And the easiest way for me to give you an analogy is it's very similar to your coffee maker at home, right? You want coffee. And so what do? You plug your coffee maker into the outlet, and coffee is subsequently produced. Same thing in the cloud. You're plugging your device, whether that's an iPad, a laptop, a thin desktop, any browser, you're plugging into the internet. And obviously you do that wirelessly as well, but you're plugging in. You don't need to know how the coffee is produced or how the electricity is produced, and you don't have to own all that equipment. You just gain access to your applications and your data from anywhere. So that's essentially how the cloud works in terms of its simplest analogy. Next, I want to go through an actual case study here. And this is an actual customer that we have. And their particular situation is they're a payroll outsourcing firm. And what they do is they have about 8 employees. They have 5 critical servers. Their customers access these servers from everywhere, and their employees do as well. So they had some in-house servers, an environment that needed to be upgraded. The servers were used to produce or to provide access to all their applications, both employees and customers. They needed faster performance. Their business has grown. They need to match their performance on their servers to their business. They needed their critical information to be backed up off-site in order to meet compliance and disaster recovery requirements. Their cost for their servers, firewalls, and backup systems was about $32,000 if they built it in-house. And we'll go over these actual line items for you in the next couple slides. And then cost for software, which was antivirus, Exchange, server operating systems, and so forth, was $34,000. We gave Bill Flanagan from WebClock an entirely new infrastructure, all enterprise class, redundant, fully fault-tolerant, servers, firewalls, backups. We increased the customer usability on his applications by 36%. That's a 36% increase that he received, all for just migrating to the cloud and being on more enterprise-class infrastructure. The database reads and writes went up by 58%. These are his tests, not ours. We didn't test this. The actual customer did. They get monthly vulnerability scans to meet all their compliance and security requirements. They get an off-site data backup plan for their disaster recovery. Their monthly cloud computing costs, and again, this is this particular customer. I have customers that literally pay us $250 a month. This particular customer has $3,200 worth of cloud computing costs versus $4,000 a month if they purchased it. And we're doing this over 4 years. A lot of people would say your server infrastructure can only last 3 years. But you know what? We know small businesses and medium businesses are scrappy and can make things last a little longer. So we did it over 4 years in case you keep your servers in-house a little bit longer. That saved them over 10 grand, or just short of 10 grand in year 1, and almost 40 grand over 4 years. So pretty impressive savings. And these are some of the actual line item costs for you. The servers, the big savings were in his own power, cooling usage, and so forth on it, an in-house solution. This doesn't even get into things like all the backup generators and all the infrastructure that he gains by putting it into a data center like ourselves. He eliminates server licenses. He eliminates some Exchange licenses. Server administration is all included in the cloud. All of it is desktop because his email went off-site, full remote capabilities to all his applications. This isn't recognized in here, but all of his desktop support tickets actually got cut in half. Savings were large there, but since we aren't providing him desktop support, I didn't put those savings into here. He still gets all of his antivirus, malware, management tools, spam filters, and so forth is all in there as well. And again, it's about almost $40,000 worth of savings. He got everything new. He got full access for remote capabilities. He got a full disaster recovery plan, so his value went up substantially while still reducing his costs. So I know Bill is very impressive. He's one of our happiest customers in terms of touting their capabilities and what we've been able to do for him. So what are some of the typical cloud computing examples of our customers? Some customers come to us with one server. Like I say, there's customers that pay us $250, $300 a month just for one server. And they get all kinds of value add over having that server in-house. Some of them have a number of servers, whether they be externally facing for their customers or they're just internal back office servers. That's our number one seller in terms of customers moving that to the cloud. Email. A lot of our customers are tired of managing their own internal email infrastructure and keeping up to date on spam and keeping up to date on antivirus and so forth. So they move to our email platform in the cloud. Backups. This is one that is the easiest one to take a look at in terms of a walk, kind of dipping your toe in the water for cloud is put your backups in the cloud, whether they be your servers or think about how much critical information is out there on desktops and laptops that never gets backed up. And that's, one, it's extremely proprietary to your company, but then two, it's a lot of lost productivity if someone's laptop crashes or what have you. We can do all those backups in the cloud. Some folks, and I would say this is once you've dipped your foot in the water, they migrate more towards the desktop being in the cloud, meaning Microsoft Office and so forth can all be in the cloud, and host your desktop there. So some of the frequently asked questions, and first and foremost, I think when we went out and talked to our customers in terms of questions that they had, the number one thing was, what about security? What about my critical data? And I'll break security into two parts, one being the physical. So the physical element is in a cloud, and I would encourage you to come down and see the data center, tour it, see exactly where your data and applications are going to be. But in the cloud, you're getting security guards 24/7. You're getting a weatherproofed, hardened data center environment that's SAS 70 certified by external auditors and SSAE certified. It's PCI compliant. There's biometrics, so you got to put your fingerprints in and stuff like that in order to gain access to the data center. There's CCTV cameras and backup generators and redundant networks and so forth. So all of this infrastructure is just gained, hardened environment for your servers. It's a very, very secure environment. It's kind of like, why do people put their money in the bank versus under their mattress? It's the same type of scenario. The banks that's their core business, that's what they do, and so forth. Same with the data centers. That's what they do, is protect that environment. The second component is the hackers, the malware, and so forth. So, when comparing someone's in-house security to the environment in the cloud, it's probably not really all that fair, meaning the data center we have so many more economies of scale, and we can utilize so much more infrastructure, enterprise class stuff, high-end firewalls that we're able to spread across multiple customers. Vulnerability scans that we have people looking at and doing on a monthly basis and making recommendations. These are high-end security people that we just have on staff to secure our entire environment. Same thing with intrusion protection services and all of that we're able to leverage economies of scale and just multiple customers in order to provide that in your environment. So nextly, where is my data? Again, I would encourage you to come down and look, feel, touch, see the storage area network and the infrastructure that we provide in our data center, all the redundancies, where your data is, how it's backed up, where it's off-sited to, and so forth. And we walk through all that. We don't hide that from any customers. I think you can get lost in the cloud. The cloud can be a huge environment, just ginormous, if you will, if you're going with some of the big boy providers. And the problem with that is you can't talk to someone. You can't go down and touch and feel and understand where your information is being secured to or stored and backed up to and so forth. You don't have that. It's all virtual, if you will. We want our customers to have a relationship with us. We want them to meet us, know us, tour the facility, and be comfortable with exactly what they're trusting us with. So can I keep some of my apps in the cloud? This is an important one. Absolutely. You can build hybrid solutions, and that's what almost all of our customers have. They don't just jump off the plank into the cloud and push everything there. That's just setting yourself up for failure. The cloud is set up to go in phases, so we encourage our customers to look at moving your servers or your critical data off-site first, maybe your email. walk before you run type of approach. What if the internet goes down? Look, there's a few things. One, commercial internet connections to offices are much, much more reliable than they were 5 years ago. So we don't have this problem very often, but we do encourage folks to have a backup connection. Could be just a simple Wi-Fi device if you're relying on it. Obviously, you can hit the coffee shop or work from home and all those types of things as well. So, you know, if anyone hasn't read this little pearl of wisdom, it's a book from Jim Collins called Good to Great. And I commend all of you guys for joining this call because mostly what we see are customers that are looking to improve their business and the way they do things. And that's what this book is about, is taking your company from being a good company to a great company. It goes with 3 principles. And one of them is, when you're looking at IT services, one, great companies can use technology shifts to your advantage. So don't be afraid to embrace them. You can make technology a differentiator against your competition in the way you utilize it. So don't be afraid of it. 2, get the brutal facts. You have to go in and do your homework. You have to tour the facility. You have to have a local relationship. Come meet the people that you're entrusting your mission-critical environment to. This is your bread and butter. All your data and your applications. Come down and see the facility and truly get the brutal facts. Look at the migration process and make certain you understand the risks associated with it and the complications and so forth. Make certain everything's planned out. And then lastly, take a crawl, walk, run approach to technology. We are firm believers in phasing any type of implementation into our customers. We build it in parallel. But when we cut over in a phased approach for customers rather than trying to do an all or none and force something down your throat that's ultimately set up for failure. So what do you do next? Where do you go from here? Maybe, you know, look, not everybody is ready for the cloud, and it's not everybody is it a fit for. But I would say the best place to start is take us up on this offer. We normally charge just shy of $600 for this. It's a free offer for anyone that joined the webinar. It's a free cloud readiness assessment. And we assess your environment. We assess where it's, the status of it today, the critical data, the data flow in terms of your users, their required access to it and so forth. And we provide the feasibility, and if it's applicable, it may not be applicable to move to the cloud, but a roadmap to migrate to the cloud. And that's critical rather than just saying, yeah, I want to you know, push my email to the cloud or what have you. Get a plan, and that's what we're willing to do for free for anybody that joins the webinar. Secondly, I would say there is a no-risk situation. Once you decide that you're ready for the cloud and we've gone through the feasibility assessment, then once you go there, we offer, and nobody else offers this, we offer a 60-day money-back customer satisfaction guarantee. If after 60 days you're not happy with the solution, you want to go back to whatever you had before, we'll help you, we'll migrate you back to that environment, and we'll give you any money back that you've paid to this point. So it's pretty powerful. We're basically one of the only providers I know of that will stand behind their services like that and say, look, we'll give you 100% of your money back if you're not satisfied for whatever reason once we migrate to the cloud. So we try and take that risk away from the customer, and it's really on us to make it a successful migration. So that concludes our webinar today. If you have any questions, feel free. I will send a follow-up email for you, just thanking you for joining. But if you have any questions or anything I didn't cover, feel free to reply to that. And secondly, if you're interested in the cloud assessment, we encourage you to take us up on that. We do put a 1-week limit on how long that offer is good for. But you know, feel free to take us up on that. We'll do it all for free and really assess whether or not you're ready for the cloud and whether it's feasible. I appreciate everyone joining. Thank you, and have a great day.